lives together. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ.
He's getting anxious. His family and friends gathered here together for the renewal of the wedding vows of Lester and Myrna Steele. And we welcome all of you who have traveled long distance to this, and I am sure that they appreciate it very much. Myrna and Lester have requested the renewal of their marriage vows to show that their devotion to one another and that they have demonstrated for 50 years. After their civil marriage, they were sealed for time and all eternity in the Los Angeles temple. And they have been sealed there, but for this ceremony, we will be just renewing their vows that they did in the civil marriage 50 years ago. So we'll proceed. Lester, if you would please come and sit.
Number 10. Lay some.
You can have that opportunity, but we'll have you sit down on this chair right here.
Okay.
Okay. And I would have you take each other by the right hands. Right hands. And as you have taken each other by the right hand, it's a token of the covenants you have previously made, and now renew these marriage covenants. Lester Steele, you take Myrna Steele in the renewal of your covenants with her as your legal and lawful wife of your own free will, and as her companion and husband, that you will continue to be with her and not know, and that you will continue to love, honor, and cherish her for the rest of your life. I do. Myrna Steele, do you take Lester Steele in the renewal of your covenants with him as your legal and lawful husband of your own free will, and as his companion and wife, that you will continue to cleave unto him and none else, and that you will continue to love and honor and cherish him for the rest of your life? Now I proclaim and renew all your marriage covenants as husband and wife, and may God bless you, your union with joy in each other and with your posterity, and with a life of happiness together, and may He enable you to keep sacred these covenants that you have received. And blessings I invoke upon you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Yay!
Steele is kind of handsome, isn't he? And she is beautiful, and I'm sure she's as beautiful as she was then.
Thank you very much. Now you want me to read that, right? Okay, I have to read it. Because the second time she has control. She says, you gotta do it, because you did it once before, you gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Now, if I can get through this. You got your hankies out? Hi. We met
Well, we did do that part. Courting. Already God. I love you then. I love you now. I love you forever. And that I vow. Lester Steele, I love you. And he wrote this the same day that we got married before. So it's something that I kept a lot of things.
Very good.
But he was a very good brother. Until you get it, taken care of. And we've learned that. We've learned a lot together. We had some great, wonderful children. We had some wonderful grandchildren. And now we can say we've got good grandchildren. So that's wonderful. And they're adorable. And I'm hoping and looking to maybe make a couple of more trips before I get too bad. But we'll see what the next surgery brings, and we'll go from there. And thank you all very much for coming. I love you dearly, and so does he. Can you talk now?
Tell her you love her.
I love you,
Good.
Yes, I love you too.
I think.
You think? Oh,
And we got some wonderful friends.
yeah, it's wonderful friends and wonderful family.
And you know
They're
what?
all
I'm
family.
glad to have brother-in-laws older than me come to see.
Yeah, there's Muscle. Yeah, it is. 90 what? 94, Harold?
95.
95 now? So see, we got some sturdy
Very
life
good.
in our We got a lot of good people.
Now, I have to pay for the garage bar,
Anyway, is that it now? So.
Okay, everybody go home.
There's food in there.
These are all hungry.
I was kidding about going home.
Say what?
And anybody who wants to come up here and kiss the bride, that's okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Go kiss the
You can
bride.
go right into the food if you want, and you can go directly in, that's fine.
Well, I just want to say a couple of things really quickly. I had an opportunity to talk with Mom over the last several months as we kind of planned this, and she had a big hand in all of exactly what she wanted and what she wanted to do. And
Don't wrinkle the suit.
I'm not going to wrinkle the suit, but I may use it as a tissue, so be careful. But they had all these pictures, and I had planned on putting all these pictures up, and then I just didn't get a chance to do that today. But in looking through the pictures, there were also notes and letters from grandchildren to my mom and dad, and letters that they had to each other that were so sweet. And my dad was early on, he was in New York, and my mom just wrote a letter to her mother, and I guess when my mom's mom passed away, she had this letter, and I'm reading through this letter that my mom wrote to her mom saying, when is he going to get home? When is he going to get home? He's never coming home. He's in Germany. And And it was just very sweet because you could tell she was a young bride, and it was just neat to see her in a way that I had never seen her before. And I did find a lot of the notes and the love notes that my dad left for my mom too. And it was cute because at the end he would sign it, "I love you more. I'm less, but I love you more." I'm like, oh, really? Corny. That's probably one of the lines he used, on her. But I wanted to tell you a quick story, too. And that was that my mom and dad met when they lived in the same neighborhood, and they were very young. I don't know exactly how old they were, but my mom is about, how many years younger is Mom than you?
17.
She's
6 years younger.
6 years younger. So when my mother met my dad, he had some friends over, I guess, at his house. He was working on the roof or something, and she passed by and she saw this mature man that she's like, ooh, he looks like he'd be somebody for me. And she went up to him and said, hey, maybe we could go out. And he flipped her a nickel and said, why don't you call me when you grow up? So a few years went by. And because they were fairly young, a few years went by, and I believe my dad ended up going into the Navy. And anyway, whenever he came back, apparently she'd grown up. So he did ask her out, and the rest is history. And I love my mom and dad, and I'm glad that we could be here to celebrate 50 years of wedded bliss. Never a fight between them. Never. Anyway. Thank you so much for coming, and
Never a fight I do, I lose anyway. Okay, now, does anybody else want to kiss? Oh, my.
okay, so should we file out?